Hi, this is Annette Sullivan from Lavender Thoughts. Today I'm going to show you how to make designer series paper the star of your card with little or no stamping. I'm going to use this beautiful paper called Succulent Garden, which is in the 2017 Occasions catalogue. So that you get 12 sheets of 12 by 12 inch paper, and it's all double-sided. So you've got this one and this one. And this one, some lovely gingham there, and this one. Now the colours that are used in there are Calypso Coral, Mint Macaron, Old Olive, Sweet Sugar Plum, Tip Top Taupe and Whisper White. Now the beauty of this designer paper is it matches the stamp set, Oh So Succulent, and the succulent framelit dies, and these two you can purchase as a bundle. So without using the stamps today, I'm just going to use the succulent framelits and the designer paper. So the first card I've started to put together, and all I've done here is taken a piece of this designer paper and I've used half of it one side and half of it the other side, and just put a strip of one of the matching colours down the middle. So the base card is Tip Top Taupe, the strip is Old Olive. Then I've cut out an oval with the stitched shaped framelits and cut out some of the flowers from another piece of the same designer paper using these framelits, and just created a little bouquet in the middle. You can then add a sentiment whenever you want. Okay. The next one we're going to do just takes a strip of designer paper, and we're just going to pop that down the middle like that. So that's just going to go about there. I've got that lined up at the top there. And then all I've done here is I have used the Sweet Sugar Plum and used the circle in the stitch shape framelits, and again just cut out some more flowers and stuck them on here. And what we're going to do this time is we're going to put these on with some dimensionals. I just cut the dimensionals in half. Seems to be more than enough to hold it together for this size project. So when you get all your pretty designer papers and you think, oh, I don't really want to cut that up, I know exactly how you feel. I have got so much of it, I decided that it was about time I made an effort and used some, especially with the new catalogue coming out in a few months. I thought I should try and get rid of some that I've got. Okay, so I think I'll just put that about there. And again, if I want to add a sentiment later, I can just pop it down the bottom there. Okay, the third card we're going to do, I've actually put quite a bit of work into, so I've already started it. And I have taken this particular piece and I have cut it to fit straight on the card like that. And what I'm doing is building up a bit of a wreath, not a wreath, a bouquet of some description from the bottom corner, and I'm just going to sit it up there. So here's a few more of the pieces. Now I cut lots out of the paper, and as you can see, you don't have to make the die cuts don't have to be exactly the same shape as the flowers. You're just giving some extra dimension to your flowers by doing it that way. We just need a couple more, I think. Pop that one in there. Just a little bit of ink on, a little bit of glue on the back. And probably go that way. And that's all I've done. I started at the corner and just basically picked up each one and decided where I want it. I just like that particular look coming around like that. I might just... No, I think that's enough. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, because it's hanging over the edges, you could leave it hanging over the edges like that, but then you've got bits that aren't. So I'm just going to turn it over so I can see and just cut them all off. Straight along the edges there. So it didn't really take me all that long to put together. Once I'd cut out all the pieces, I just got a piece of the designer paper and just took it over to the big shop with the framelits and just popped it on and just kept making more. So that's given it some nice crisp edges to put on there. So again, we'll just put that on there. So you see, you can make your designer paper be the star of the show without having any or very little stamping. So that just sits on like that. Okay, for the inside of the cards, I haven't done any of them yet, but I've got them all here. So I want one this way and two that way. So with my leftover flowers, again, I will just get my silicone mat and put it under there. Hang that off the edge. And then maybe on there. And you don't need a lot on the inside of your card. It's just so that when people open the card, they can get a nice surprise as well. Okay, so I'll just leave that for a minute. Just wipe off this glue so I can start on the next one. Okay. And on... Let's stick that down very well, did I? Okay. So I'll pop this one. Maybe do this corner on this one. And another one up there. So now you just haven't got a boring white piece in the middle of the card. Something they can go wow to. Okay, so for the big landscape one, I lost my words for a moment. I'm going to put that one there. One up there. And this one down the bottom. Now, depending on the designer paper that you're actually using, you won't have to cut flowers or anything like that out. Just be a little bit creative and I'll just pop that one down there. And just use strips of it. And like for this one here, you could have just, instead of putting flowers in the middle, you could have just made that your sentiment panel with a big happy birthday or just for you, something like that. And this one, you could just cut out pieces. So if it wasn't a floral pattern, you could fussy cut the flowers if you had a floral pattern. But if you had some other sort of pattern, you could just cut out shapes, punch some circles, and just put them as a little bit of a geometric type design on there for that one. And you've just got your banner piece in the middle. And for this one, you're just basically using the whole piece to match the front of the card and probably you could even do just like a triangle of an opposite one of the designer papers in this bottom corner, and that would be just as effective. Okay, so these should be dry enough to snip off the backs now. The measurements for these will all be on my blog post. The link will be at the bottom of this video. You can check out, so you can use it for any designer paper. And you could make masculine cards doing the same way. Just because they're masculine cards doesn't mean they can't have designer paper on them. You might not want to use flowers, but there's lots of other pretty designer papers around that you could use. I managed to get sticky bits of glue all over me. So we'll put this one in here. Now, doesn't that make a difference, just having that like that? Okay, and I don't think it really matters. I've got one going down there. Make sure I've got the card the right way up. Okay, and for the last one, now you could make a set of these, which would make a lovely gift for somebody. Okay, so there we have making designer paper, the star of your card. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like it and consider subscribing to my channel so that you can be first to see what other new projects I'm doing. And I shall see you again soon. Thank you.